Floyd Mayweather has just intimidated Jake Paul to cancel his upcoming clash of the eras with Mike Tyson. Yep, you heard it right. Money Mayweather has issued a chilling warning to Jake, derailing the heavyweight showdown. Floyd's all like, "Jake, you ain't ready for that level of experience yet. Mike Tyson's a different animal." And it looks like the YouTuber turned boxer is finally getting the message. Of course, Jake being Jake, bit off more than he could chew with a fight with the baddest man on the planet. And he's been treating it like a walk in the park, but after Floyd's recent verbal smackdown, pre-fight jitters are finally setting in, and the problem child is getting cold feet. Let's break it down.
For right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
Floyd Mayweather has thrown down the gauntlet, issuing a stern warning to Jake Paul about the impending disaster that is the Mike Tyson fight. He's warning Paul that this fight could be the biggest mistake of his career. Can you believe that? The champ is straight up saying Jake's hype train is about to derail hardcore. Floyd Mayweather is not holding back. The champ is straight up saying this Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight is a total disaster waiting to happen. He's dropping bombs, saying it could be the final nail in the coffin for Jake's whole boxing star image. Mayweather thinks Jake's carefully built-up brand is about to come crashing down harder than a Tyson knockout. And let's be real, when Floyd talks boxing, we listen. This is a huge deal, folks. Now, let's talk about the fight itself. It's set for November 15th at the AT&T Arena. The hype is insane. Everyone's talking about it, from hardcore boxing fans to casual viewers. Bets are being placed, sides are being picked, and even Netflix is getting in on the action. But amidst all the excitement, Floyd's warning is like a cold shower. If Jake wants to have a long and successful boxing career, he might want to rethink this whole Tyson thing. Word on the street is that Floyd Mayweather hasn't just been talking smack, he's actually reached out to Jake Paul's camp. The champ is trying to save Jake from himself, basically. Let's be real, a Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight? It's a money-making machine. Fans are hyped, the paydays are going to be insane, and it's pure entertainment gold. But Floyd, with all his boxing wisdom and experience, is seeing something we might not be. He's trying to tell Jake that this whole thing is a bad idea. It's like he's saying, "Jake, trust me, this ain't going to end well." Floyd knows a thing or two about making big bucks in the boxing world. He's had his fair share of mega fights, and he's clearly trying to save Jake from making a huge mistake. It's almost like he's a concerned big brother, trying to steer Jake in the right direction. Floyd Mayweather isn't just any boxing legend. This guy is the voice of the sport. He's lived and breathed boxing his entire life. We all know he retired undefeated, but let's not forget he's still in the game with these exhibition fights. So yeah, he knows a thing or two about chasing that big payday. But here's the kicker. Floyd's also about legacy. He's built an empire, and he's earned every penny. Jake Paul, on the other hand, is still trying to find his footing. Chasing a mega fight with Tyson might seem like a golden ticket, but Floyd's saying it's a one-way ticket to disaster. If you want to be a real boxing legend, you gotta earn it in the ring, not just in the bank. And right now, Jake ain't there yet. Okay, let's dive into the nitty-gritty for it. Jake Paul ain't your average boxer. He's built his whole career on knocking out washed-up MMA stars and NBA players. It's like he's playing in his own little league, calling himself the champ. Don't get me wrong, he's got a knack for self-promotion, and he's definitely got people talking. But let's be real, he hasn't fought anyone who's actually considered a top-tier boxer. He's beaten up Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley, and even Nate Robinson. I mean, come on, those guys are tough, but they're not exactly known for their boxing skills. The only real boxer he's faced so far is Tommy Fury, and we all saw how that ended. Tommy handed Jake his first loss, proving that when it comes to actual boxing skills, Jake's got a long way to go. Sure, he's got heart and he's not afraid to talk trash, but that only gets you so far. Boxing is about skill, technique, and strategy, and Jake still has a lot to learn. Now let's talk about Jake's most recent showdown in the ring and how it was the breaking point for Floyd to pick up the phone and call Jake's camp to end this freak show. The problem child stepped into the ring with Mike Perry on July 20th, 2024 in Tampa, Florida for a fight that was set to be a banger. I mean, on one hand, you had Jake's explosive power, and on the other, you had a bare-knuckle brawler and a beast. Fans were expecting a blockbuster bout and a high-octane match, but what we did get was disappointing. Jake picked up a 6th-round KO win against Perry, and made him kiss the canvas thrice before finally dropping it. But the real elephant in the room was their size difference. Mike looked visibly smaller than Jake, and he was outmatched throughout the whole fight. As a bare-knuckle beast, the boxing community was expecting more out of him, but his performance was a far cry from what fans were hoping to see. Now, Jake was expecting boxing pros and pundits to give him a pat on the back for picking up this win, but no one was impressed. Come on, he didn't showcase any skill in the ring. If anything, Jake looked like a big bad bully picking on the weaker man. This fight was a turning point, and it's probably what made Floyd Mayweather send that warning. Jake got the W, but let's break it down. We saw some flashy combinations, sure, but when it came to pure boxing fundamentals, Jake was lacking. His footwork was sloppy, his defense was non-existent, and his power punches were mostly wild swings. Now, don't get me wrong, Perry's no slouch, but he's not a boxer. This wasn't a showcase of Jake's boxing skills, it was more like a backyard brawl. And that's the problem. Jake's building his career on fighting guys who are tough but not technically sound. It's like comparing apples to oranges. Boxing is a science, and Jake's still in kindergarten. Mike Tyson is a different animal altogether. He's a legendary puncher with unmatched experience. Putting Jake in the ring with him is like throwing a lamb to the wolves. It's bad for the sport, and it's bad for Jake's career. Floyd knows this, and he's trying to save Jake from stepping into the ring for his funeral. Boxing is about respect, legacy, and building the sport. Matching a YouTuber with a legend like Tyson is a slap in the face to the true fighters. It's like saying anyone can step into the ring with anyone, regardless of skill or experience. Floyd's standing up for the integrity of the sport, and we should all appreciate that. This guy's taking one for the team, right? So it looks like Jake Paul is starting to freak out. The champ's warning seems to have hit him hard. Word on the street is he's having major pre-fight jitters. We've all seen Jakey act tough and talk big, but now it seems like reality is setting in. He's been begging for this fight, acting like he's the king of the world, but now that it's getting real, he's starting to backpedal. There's talk of him pulling the plug on the whole thing, blaming Tyson's health again. We've seen this playbook before. Jake's not afraid to throw Tyson under the bus to save his own skin. But let's be real. Everyone knows what's going on. He's scared. He's about to share the ring with a guy who's bitten off an ear in the ring. That's not something you can prepare for mentally. It's one thing to talk trash, but it's a whole different ballgame when you're facing a real-life legend who's known for his brutality. I'd be terrified too. Now let's talk about the other guy in this equation, Mike Tyson. Yeah, he's 58, but don't let that fool you. This guy is a living legend for a reason. Age ain't nothing but a number, especially when you're talking about Iron Mike. The guy's been hitting the gym like a madman, and from what we've seen in those viral training videos, his power, speed, and precision are still on point. We're talking about a guy with lightning-fast reflexes, explosive power, and a killer instinct. He's redefining what it means to be a 58-year-old. So if Jake Paul was thinking he's going to step into the ring with some washed-up old man, he's in for a rude awakening. Tyson is a hungry lion ready to pounce on his prey. This ain't gonna be a walk in the park for Jake.
Different date, same fate. I'm gonna knock out Jake Paul.
The boxing world wouldn't be surprised if Jake Paul pulled out of this fight. Let's be honest, his career is built on hype and social media. He's more concerned about staying in the spotlight than actually proving himself in the ring. If he starts to feel the heat, he'll do whatever it takes to save face. We've seen him play the victim card before, and he's not afraid to use it again. This whole thing is becoming more of a circus than a fight, and Jake is the ringmaster. Maybe Floyd Mayweather just saved Jake Paul's career. Crazy, right? By throwing cold water on this whole Tyson matchup, Floyd might have actually done Jake a favor. Imagine the damage a loss against Tyson would do to Jake's brand. It could be career-ending. So while it might seem harsh, Floyd could be looking out for Jake's long-term future. It's a tough pill for Jake's ego to swallow, but it might be the best thing that could happen to him right now. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see how this one plays out. So, what are your thoughts on Floyd Mayweather intimidating Jake Paul to cancel Mike Tyson fight? Make sure to fill the comments section with your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more boxing news. See you in the next video.